Greetings, YouTube. My name is Divine Black Goddess Warrior Woman. Okay, and today's video, well, first of all, let me introduce myself. Well, I already did, but a little about me. I like the arts. Like, I like the expression of oneself. It doesn't matter what type of art. It could be music, art, performing art, things like that, or like physical therapy, like something along the lines of the arts. Like, I like it, like sculpting. So yeah, and let's see, I guess that's about it personally about myself. So today's topic that we'll be talking about is trauma in the Black community, and it's a sensitive topic, but it really happens. Like, you really have to, and it's not just Black people. Everyone has such on this planet. It's a traumatic experience. Like, this journey, Earth, is very traumatic. Like, it can change you, it can make you, it can break you. But specifically, I'm talking about trauma in the Black community because this is it's more of a pro-Black channel, but I want it to be more pro-Black, but mainly for Black women. But overall, I want the channel to be for anyone, because like at the end of the day, we are these vessels, but within this vessel is our spirit and our soul and our essence, and we're not always going to be here. Like, this is not forever, but all of this inside of us is. So it's like, you know, it's not about, because there are terrible black people, there are nice white people, there are nice Hispanic people, there are nice Asians. Like, you know, like, we get so caught up in the races and things, and I don't mean to sway off topic, and I don't mean to, and I ramble a lot sometimes, but that's why I wrote my notes, so I'll stay on track. But basically, like, you know, I'm just trying to say that we're all spiritual beings on a physical journey and whatnot, and life is about choices. Like, you can decide if you want to be good or bad or evil or the hero or whatever. But yeah, back on topic. Basically, it's a safe space for everybody, for us all to talk about issues and interact with one another. But yeah, so like I said, trauma in the Black community, and a couple of my thoughts is why, how, where it stems from, and solutions. Okay, so why there's trauma in the Black community? Okay, family cycles. A lot of Black people, I'm not gonna say all, but a very high percentage, we have some things that we need to work on. Like, we have family cycles, like we have cycles of abuse, cycles of molestation, like cycles of drug abuse, cycles of it's just like it literally goes to the next generation, to the next, you know. And then somebody has to break the cycle, and I'm breaking the cycle, you know, because the next generations, they shouldn't have to go through what a lot of Black kids go through in their childhoods. And it's like, I worked with kids for about 3-4 days at this art program in DC, and it was interesting. Like, I saw like their personalities, like the potential, what they could do, where they could go in life. Like, and then it was just like, in the back of my mind, I was like, these kids sadly might become statistics, and realistically that's the truth. And it's like, I just wanted to make sure they grow up safe and they have the best opportunities given to them. And it was nice working that program, and I hope I can do it again next summer. And whatnot. It was a great experience, to be honest. And I like the kids. They just unique personalities, and it's really interesting. Like, because you were a kid at once, and you had so many dreams and goals, and then life got to you and tore you down, or something happened to you. Something traumatic happened to you. Oh yeah. But the definition of trauma: a deeply distressing or disturbing experience or damage of the mind. Like, if someone beats the shit out of you, or like rapes you or molests you, or you do or you just are around a lot of drugs, or like you just emotionally, you're not getting what you need, like, you're gonna have trauma in your life. And a lot of Black youth have trauma in their life, and it's like, a lot of people don't like to face it, but like, the quicker you face it, the quicker you heal from it. Like, it is like, it is it's an experience, to be honest, to realize that you went through some stuff, and it's hard to really say it because you're embarrassed, or you think no one's gonna believe you, or nobody believes you, you don't have the support, you know. And a lot of times in Black families, it's a lot of like division, or it's just like he said, she said, or it's like you're the one who's to blame, and it's just like that's the problem right there, right then and there. You cause that kid trauma, and they're never going to be the same. But yeah, so that's like an example of family cycles. Like the mom beat the kids because the dad beat the mom. So like it was just a cycle of abuse, and they kept going, and it just moved on to generation. So that's family cycles. How a couple examples: abuse, physical, on the physical, mental, psychological, spiritual, because if you aren't balanced in your trinity, mentally, physically, psychologically, your spirit's not in line. Like your spirit's off, or you're dead. So that's how trauma can be induced. Okay, where it stems from. To be honest, and keep it a stack, it stems from slavery and systematic racism, because you know it's true. Like, it sounds crazy when you say it, and it's like, you know, like when you wake up to your Black consciousness, it doesn't make you better than anybody, but it makes you realize that you're fine and beautiful the way you are. Like, you know, like, I don't know, like a lot of Black people they just don't love themselves. And it's like, I understand, like, you know, it's a lot of like things that stem from slavery. Like, we still have to heal as a people. Like, we got a long way to go, to be honest. But it's like, it stems from slavery because like when Black people are like, oh, I'm gonna whip the shit out of my kids and beat the shit out of them, like, and even like Black people around the world, they do that shit. Like, they'll beat them with branches and fucking anything they can find, and that's some slave master shit. Like, that's what the slave masters did to the slaves. So that can be passed down to generation, which it was. And like when yeah, so when they got free, they went home and beat their families because like they were so angry. The men were so angry, and you know, but that's something we gotta talk about too. Like, we can't keep allowing like these women beaters to be in our communities, and vice versa. Women beat men too. So because some people will be like, oh, you don't say nothing about the women, but it is what it is. I'm just gonna say both. So, because I want to be fair and whatnot. So, yeah, so it's just a cycle that comes and just keeps going and keeps going. Like, you don't need to beat your kids. Like you'll see videos of parents beating their kids because they're doing things, or like shaving their heads off. Like, a dad shaved a girl's head off because she was on Snapchat, I think, talking to boys. But that's not how you deal with your daughters. That, like, you do not tear your daughter down for just being a girl. Like, yeah, like, she's young, but you sit down with her and talk to her. Like, that's how you destroy her femininity and cause her to have low self-esteem and not love herself. And yeah, or another example where like a mom beat her daughter, calling her a thought and a hoe and all this on freaking social media. Like, doesn't she know that girl has to go to school? Her kids are gonna make fun of her. They're gonna repost that video. And it's just like, as Black people, we gotta really like break free of like these things and see, like, you know, that it's that we need to heal. We need to heal because it's been 400 years, and Black people, we still are suffering. And don't get me wrong, like we need to come together. Like, yeah, but systematic racism is like a system built to make sure whites stay above everyone, mainly Blacks, because we are the system. Like, without Black money, the American economy would just plummet. So it's just like, you know, that's why we're on the bottom. Like, that's why we're not allowed to have money and help out. And if you really think about it, and or like another not far out there example, you go get a job and you're told, can you fix your hair, or can you do something to your hair? And you're just like, what? This is my natural hair. Like, it'd be different if it wasn't my hair. but it's like, this is what I was born with. Like, there's nothing to fix. And it's just like, right then and there, that happened to me. So right then and there, like, you hear it, and it's just like, when it's horrible, but when it happens to you, you're just like, whoa, like, you're just like, wow, like, people still think like this, like no, like, this world is very racist, and people won't admit it because racism is looked down upon, and like it should be. Racists don't need to live on this planet. Like, they really don't want to live on this planet. They can just kill themselves. Like, seriously, it's it's not that deep. Like, stop being insecure and worrying about little things. Like, this is our planet. We all need to learn to share. Like, we all gotta like each other, but we only have one planet. Like, I don't have money to go to another planet if we fuck it up because we're fighting each other or destroying it. I don't. So let's just try to live in unison. We don't have to like each other, but we have to learn to live in harmony. But yeah. Or I don't know, just sly little racist things that you just hear happen, but it's like, when it happens to you, it really is, it's like, wow. Where it stems from, okay. And solutions, someone has to stop the cycle. And by somebody, like, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, sometimes you have to be the one. Sometimes you have to be the one to stand up and be like, look, I don't want anybody else to go through what I had to go through. Or, like, yeah, like, as I get more awoken to, like, I guess my black consciousness, I don't know what to call it, so yeah, but as you get more awoken to it, you realize that, like, black is beautiful. And like, I watched a couple of documentaries too, like, about the Black Panthers, and to be honest, like, I really banged with it. Like I watched that documentary, I banged with it, I did all the research, and like, the Black Panthers were done so wrong, but it's a lot of like misinformation. Like, it's little bits and pieces of truth you need to take here and there. Like, I don't listen to all the news of your enemy because they're not gonna tell you the story. They're not gonna tell you the truth. But yeah, so like me, I'm choosing to stop the cycle. Like, my future generations will never have to go through what I've been through, and other people have to stop the cycle too. You gotta heal, but in order to do that, you gotta heal first. If you can't heal, you're gonna carry that with you. It's gonna manifest and harden you in your spirit and soul, and then you're just gonna be bitter and angry and rageful and hate everyone in the world because you didn't heal or find a way to heal and let that stuff go. It's not saying letting go doesn't mean you get over it, but letting go is you don't hold it back. You don't hold it inside of you. You don't harbor it, because when you harbor it, you're killing yourself, because you're harboring negative energy inside of you. You're not meant to put negative energy in. You're supposed to be a positive being and whatnot. And that's what happens with a lot of parents, especially in the Black community. Like, marriages don't work out, baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, and then it's just like, it's like resentment, and then the kids have to suffer, and that's not right. Kids should never have to suffer. But yeah, that's the solution. Stop the cycle. Like, it's harder, it's easier said than done, but if you really put in the work, you can definitely stop the cycle. Think about like our ancestors. They knew, some of them knew they weren't gonna make it through like slavery and the wars, the gully wars, and other wars that they had to fight to get free. Oh, the Haitian Revolution, there we go. I couldn't think of it at the time, and it's just like, they envisioned us being free, like, like, they weren't like, oh yeah, we just gonna be slaves and our kids and great grandkids. Like, no, they were like, fuck that, and they were like, we're getting free so our great grandbabies don't have to live under nobody. And it's like, I appreciate the men and women, mainly men, but women did help, as probably as nurses and other things. But we're a team. Black men and black women, we're a team. Like, we are each other's yin and yangs, like, and we shouldn't have any division. Like, I'm not saying like, like, you gotta be like best friends, but you gotta understand that like black people, like, it's gonna come a time, like I don't know, like after watching that Purge movie, it was just like, it was mainly black people they was killing. Like, if you go see that movie, I'm not gonna spoil it, but it was I know I got over the place, but it's just like, yeah, the movie, to be honest, was it was deep, like, if you really paid attention, and it made me feel a type of way. Like, it was like, those were like my people. Like, don't get me wrong, like, everyone's my people, but it's like, when it's time said and done, black people, we don't have that many allies. Like, history has shown us we don't have too many allies. We don't. And it's like, I don't want to come off like, oh, like I only, you know, bang with black people, because I don't. But it's just the realism of the realist. I'm being realistic, and it's like, we're on our own. We don't even have an army, a decent built army, and we can't. That's why the Black Panthers didn't succeed. And you know, like, it's just, I don't know, it's just crazy. But yeah, so that was my first YouTube video. I don't want to go on too long, but when I post another video, I want to do a study asking blacks or African Americans what they what trauma they faced growing up, and I want to understand, like, why, how, where, like, what started the cycle. And it's like, you know, I don't know, it's just something I feel like needs to be done. So hopefully